Going on, Jerome's? We're back taking a look at another Pro Football Focus mock draft Monday after all, since it is, well, it's Tuesday now, but that's whatever. So this one is by Austin Gale, our guy over at PFF. Now, the quarterback tax is legit, and you do see quarterbacks overdrafted and bunching up in draft just because the value of the quarterback position is the most important position in all of team sports. So why not? Let's get nuts. 5 quarterbacks in the first round, 4 for 4. Up at the top, so let's get this thing going. Number 1, Jaguars. And I like that a lot of prognosticators and a lot of prominent national media people is like, well, after Trevor Lawrence's pro day, he's clearly a number 1 overall pick. Like, that did it for you? Him throwing in shorts to guys that he knows? Is that it? Was that? Yeah, never mind the 3 years of great tape. Never mind the national title as a true freshman. Never mind performing on the biggest stage year after year. Yeah. It took him throwing in shorts. Okay, sure. Awesome. 2, Jets, Zach Wilson. Now, you're starting to see the cracks in the Zach Wilson armor. You're starting to hear the leaks like, BYU had 8 team captains, and his team didn't vote him a captain. Okay, sure. Arm talent for days. Punky leader. Spunky. Punky and Spunky and Funky. All of the unkies. That applies to Zach Wilson. I think that he is quickly going to become one of the better quarterbacks in the league. He is an absolute treat to watch. And yeah, maybe all this hubbub is starting to come up because teams are trying to get him to fall. But no, he is going to go minimum top 4, probably top 2, and deservedly so. I think that he will be a superstar for the Jets in short order. 3. So, I mean, come on. Why does everyone assume that the Eagles are going to take a quarterback? Because they didn't change ownership. They didn't change GM. They're probably going to trade Carson Wentz. And the GM, Howie Roseman, who drafted Jalen Hurts, is still there. And Jalen Hurts played well at times. And yes, he points out that Jalen Hurts sort of trailed off at the end of his rookie year. He's a rookie. Like, why are people so ready to give up on quarterbacks after 1 year? Like, the transition to quarterback from college is the hardest in the NFL. You know, besides slot cornerback, it's up there. And I know Chargers fans, well, we got you. No, Justin Jefferson is still better than Justin Herbert. Suck it. Anyway, so the Eagles coming up, and not only drafting quarterback, but trading up. So giving up significant draft assets to move from 6 to 3 to take Justin Fields, where I'll take Jalen Hurts. I will. Justin Fields, you know, his issues are very well documented in terms of pocket awareness and accuracy. But, I mean, I will take Jalen Hurts. Like, why? I understand that Justin Fields has all the intangibles, all the arm strength, but put a little bit of pressure on him, right? Well, same thing with all these quarterbacks, by the way. But, yeah, Justin Fields may have extremely high ceiling, but you have Jalen Hurts. Like, unless you're going to trade Hurts, if that is a plan, because you could probably get a first-round pick plus, especially for some very quarterback-needy teams, especially with how he played last year on that garbage Eagles team. That's on you, by the way, Howie Roseman. But, I mean, okay, sure. 4, so the Falcons. I love this pick. I do. And you could say that 4 might be a little bit early for Trey Lance, but you do have scarcity. All of a sudden, teams are going to be a little bit desperate. Oh, there's been a run at quarterbacks right at the top. And I think this is the perfect spot for Trey Lance because his movement skills, because you saw the way that Arthur Smith used Ryan Tannehill's movement skills to really open up things on offense, especially when teams are stacked up in the box to stop Derrick Henry. So Atlanta is in a very unique situation that they still probably have a couple decent years of Matt Ryan left, and they can squeeze the final bits of talent out of him. And Trey Lance probably needs to sit for a year, maybe even 2, going from a 1-year FCS starter, even though, yes, NDSU, all the way up to the NFL. So this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. Plus, Arthur Smith, offensive-minded head coach, is going to be there for the long haul, and he and Trey Lance are now joined at the hip. I like it. I do really, really like it. 5. So the Bengals, just watching this mess in front of them, get Penei Sewell, generational left tackle, to watch Joe Burrow's ass. And then move Jonah to right tackle, move Jonah to guard. I don't know. Do whatever you need to do with Jonah Williams. 6. So the Dolphins are going to give Tua a second shot. No way. Crazy that's what you should do with a rookie quarterback. Do you know Peyton Manning threw like 37 interceptions as a rookie? But I digress. But yeah, if you're going to build around Tua, get him some weapons. Jamar Chase is going to be that dude with Devontae Parker. Dude, you know they played college with Teddy. And then also you should invest in some offensive line. And hopefully the Dolphins will do that. They don't do that with their second first-round pick, but hopefully round 2, etc. 7. So the Lions miss out on all the quarterbacks. Now, they would have their choice of every wide receiver not named Jamar Chase, but they take Micah Parsons in this spot where this does seem like a Chris Spielman influence pick, where you got that monster in the middle, can play off ball, can rush the edge in some certain packages. But yeah, the Lions defense needs a full teardown and rebuild. Hopefully they'll get something out of Jeff Okudah, but yeah, I mean, Parsons tossing him into that linebacker mix with Jamie Collins. Let's go. Or hell, they might even get rid of Jamie Collins. That was the previous regime. 8. So they got the Panthers. Miss out on quarterbacks. Probably a little bit too early to draft Mac Jones. And they very clearly want to give up on Teddy. But if they're stuck, may as well get Teddy some weapons. Unlike you did last year where you spent every single draft pick on defense. But Kyle Pitts, Teddy needs a tall tight end. Kyle Pitts is an absolute matchup nightmare. Plus, you pair him in with the great 3 wide receivers having Carolina, plus Christian McCaffrey. All of a sudden, who are you going to guard? You have to guard everyone. And if Teddy can't succeed with that and Joe Brady, it might be over. It might be. 9, Broncos. So they miss out on the quarterbacks. They could go with, they're not going to go wide receivers, but they do have their choice of all the cornerbacks, but they decided to go Kwity Paye in this spot where Von Miller might be done. Yeah, so they do need to add an edge presence. Kwity Paye plus Bradley Chubb. That's a nice duo there. 10, so you got the Cowboys coming in. You could go offensive line. You could see Rashawn Slater in this spot, but they have their choice of cornerbacks. Caleb Farley with Trevon Diggs. That's a nice duo. And just having a guy that you can set and forget. You got that length. You got that press man ability. Just go get after it. 11, so you got the Giants. Jalen Waddle. Danny Dimes needs a deep threat. And like we said, I actually think there is a good chance that Jalen Waddle could go before his teammate Devontae Smith, even though Devontae had one of the greatest seasons in college football history for a wide receiver, won the Heisman. I think teams are just going to fall in love with that speed, and they may not be sold on Devontae's frame. It's still pretty slight. 12, Niners. So I don't know. I don't know what it is with PFF, man. It's like they're just playing fantasy football, but with the Niners, they miss out on quarterback. Maybe they trade for Kirk Cousins. But if they did trade for Kirk Cousins, they'd have to give up this pick, so that's a non-starter. But picking up Devontae Smith. So you have Kittle, now, and then you had Ayuk, and then you had Debo, and now you got Devontae added in that mix. I mean, even if they do bring back Jimmy G, which is probably unlikely, I mean, hell, I could be the quarterback of this offense. We put up 30 a game. Let's get this thing going. 13. So Chargers could take Surtain in this spot. Cornerback room certainly needs some freshening. Maybe they go edge to replace Ingram. So maybe they go Greg Rousseau here. But Rashawn Slater protecting the Herbert, who should have finished second in the Offensive Rookie of the Year voting. But Slater can play left tackle. He can play guard. He can play right tackle. He can do all. Hell, maybe even he can play center. They were working on that with Duke Manyweather, but no. 14. So this is an interesting spot for the Vikings, where even if they bring back Riley Reif, and even if they do sign a guy like Joe Thuney, Darrisaw, don't overthink it. Darrisaw is going to be a rock-solid left tackle in this league, maybe even a Pro Bowl level guy, and getting him at 14, I don't know what's going on. Left tackle is still the most premium offensive line position, and it just seems like Darrisaw is getting overlooked, where he's an absolute savage in the run game. He's a dog. He gets after it, and he has ballerina feet, phenomenal pass sets, and also, if they had the combine this year, he would blow it up. He might be the Mekhi Becton of this year's draft, where he's able to do all of this at 6'5", 350. It's amazing. Plus has some of the best hands. It's amazing. So the Vikings can do this. Don't overthink it. Do not overthink Christian Darrisaw. If he's available at 14, take him. I've come to that conclusion. 15, Patriots. Should go Mac Jones, but picking up Christian Barmore here, where if he reaches the ceiling, he can be Richard Seymour. He really can. I almost said Richard Sherman. I don't think that Barmore could be a cornerback in a cover 3 scheme, but I don't know, maybe he could. 16, so the Cardinals picking up a Patrick to replace Patrick. So Patrick Peterson likely gone. Surtain the second coming on in. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And I don't know where Patrick Surtain's going to go. We've seen mocks where he goes as high as 4 to the Falcons, and some where he falls almost to the 20s. So it's going to be a highly variant in this pretty solid cornerback class. Next up, the Raiders. So Jason Oweh, this is a throwback, respect to Al Davis pick, rest in power, man. This is a Jason Oweh where he's going to be 6'5", he's 260. He might run a 4.3 at his pro day. And, man, the Raiders have sucked at edge. Minus Max Crosby, like Clelin Ferrell, Arden Key has not been great. Has not been ideal. But Ouellette is definitely a tools guy that could eventually make a big impact in the NFL. 18 Dolphins, where we said they should build around Tua, but Rousseau might be a little bit too much value to pass up at 18. The Miami stays in Miami, and using him all over the place. And Flores' defense, he can be a 1 tech, he can be a 3 tech, he can be a 5 tech, he can be all over the place. 19. So this should be the Mac Jones pick. I mean, Washington, like maybe they're in a Mariota. They did sign Taylor Heineke to a 2-year deal. Who knows if he's going to be the future? But yeah, this makes sense to be the Mac Jones pick. But J.C. Horn, I mean, sure, they could use some offensive line help. Quarterback is still definitely a need, but cornerback, yeah, they need cornerback. And J.C., so, I mean, if Farley wasn't in this draft, I mean, J.C. will be getting the hype as the length and the press man guy. Dude is extremely talented, and I think it's good value here in Washington at 19. 20, Bears. Offensive line, absolutely makes sense. They could go wide receiver, but yeah, Tevin Jenkins, a road grader for OK State. Put him in at the right tackle spot is a slight upgrade over Jermaine Ifedi and Rashad Coward. Toss him in. Oh, hell, you can play him a guard if you want to. Next up, 21. So this should be the Mac Jones pick. Colts, what are you doing here? Unless there's a plan. Rondale Moore. This is gross. Keep him in state. West Lafayette over to Indianapolis. Pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy. But as a dynamic return guy plus speed for days, can be the T.Y. Hilton replacement as he's probably going to leave the free agency. Yeah, 22. Tennessee. Titans need edge. Azeez Ujulari coming on in, shifting from Georgia over to Nashville, and yeah, this is gross. So you have Landry, you have Azeez, you have Jeffrey Simmons, just getting after it. Get it. Next up, 23. So you got the Jets. You got Zach Wilson now getting some weapons. Rashad Bateman, silky smooth route runner. Not a plus athlete. He's not going to blow the doors off the roof of the combine if there was a combine this year, but just a guy who can get open. Tough, physical receiver. I think he's a great compliment to Denzel Mims. And right away, you have 2 really solid receivers for Zach Wilson. Now, hopefully, they can address the offensive line. Everyone except for Becton needs to be evaluated. That includes Pat Elflein, by the way. And just keep Zach Wilson upright so he can actually chuck it to some of these great wide receivers. 24. So the Steelers picking up Jalen Phillips from the U. Now, there's a lot of needs here. There's a lot of needs in Pittsburgh, especially if Big Ben retires. This would be the Mac Jones place, but offensive line, they're probably going to have to cut DeCastro. Villanueva's leaving in free agency. Linebacker could be a need here as well, but Bud Dupree played this year on the franchise tag towards ACL. Is probably going to be gone. So Phillips, TJ Watt, sort of makes sense. And Phillips, I think, easily can transition to a stand-up 3-4 outside linebacker. Played a little bit of that at Miami. And plus, if they get J.J. Watt to play some D-end here, that's gross. Gross. Next up, 25. So the Jaguars. Now, you would think that, picking up some offensive line help or some weapons for Trevor Lawrence or Travis Etienne in the spot. Ooh, Etienne plus James Robinson. Let's go. Dynamic duo. But Trevor Moehrig, the first safety off the board, Sheriff on the back end of the defense. I do like what they would, how they would incorporate it. Plus, you got Henderson as your nice corner, so you have a nice beginning to a very solid secondary makeover. 26. So the Browns. Now, edge would make sense, but since they missed out on Azeez, picking up Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Joke Stefanski gets the Kendricks of his defense. I like it. 27. Ravens. So edge. But AVT, Elijah Vera Tucker, he just seems like a Ravens offensive lineman. Like tough, slobber knocker, versatile. Like he could play guard this year. He could kick out to right tackle if and when they have to get rid of Orlando Brown Jr., Zeus 2. So, yeah. Next up, 28. So the Saints are way up against it with the cap. Like, they're going to have to let everyone go. And getting Mac Jones in this spot kind of sucks because I think Mac Jones with Sean Payton would actually be a really nice combination. But, yeah. 29, Packers, Kadarius Toney. No. God, please no. No. 30, Bills. So, if Josh Norman isn't re-signed, you got Trey Davis White, you got Dane Jackson, who's pretty solid, but Asante Samuel Jr., maybe he can defend a Hail Murray. I don't know. Doesn't really have the size, but his pops definitely brought game back in the day in the AFC East, and Asante Samuel Jr. is also going to bring it. 31. So the Chiefs, especially after that Super Bowl, O-line, 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 O-line. Now, Dylan Radunz is a physical freak upside. NDSU, Pride of Becker, Minnesota, did some really good things down at the Senior Bowl as well. And now it's a little bit surprising because you're taking him over larger school guys like Sam Cosmi, like Leatherwood, like Jalen Mayfield, like Dickerson, like Wyatt Davis, etc. But I mean, the upside is certainly there. And plus, the Chiefs aren't scared about small school guys, as evidenced by them taking Eric Fisher, number 1 overall in 2013 out of Central Michigan. So, $32. So, Sam Cosmi, Texas. I guess if they're done with Donovan Smith, sure, but even though he was solid this year. But yeah, getting Tom Brady some more protection for next year when he's going to be older, as they pursue Super Bowl trophy number 8 for him, sure. But I don't know. I'd rather go edge in this spot. Shaq Barrett's probably going to leave. JPP's not getting any younger, but it'd be what it be. So guys are still on board. So Kyle Trask, you would think that 4 quarterbacks go in the first 4 picks, that maybe some way, somehow Kyle Trask could sneak into the first round, but nope, didn't happen. Travis Etienne, Najee Harris, of course, this is PFF, so no running backs in the first round. Wide receivers, Terrace Marshall Jr., Elijah Moore, no go. Pat Freiermuth, didn't quite make it. Offensive line, like we mentioned, Leatherwood, Mayfield, Dickerson, Davis, Omai, Davion Nixon, no-go. Levi and Uzuriki, nope. Boogie Basham. I would have preferred Boogie to the Bucks at 32 over Cosmi, but whatever. Joseph Asai from Texas, no-go either. Zaven Collins didn't go first round. A little bit surprising. Nick Bolton, no. Dylan Moses, no. And then cornerbacks, Tyson Campbell didn't make it. Greg Newsome also. Plus Javon Holland, only one safety. Morrig went in the first round. But, yeah, like we said, don't overthink Darrisaw. Even if you load up and bringing back Reef and also signing a guy like Scherf or a guy like Joe Thuney, nah, Christian Darrisaw, set it and forget it. And yes, this does complicate the moving Ezra to left tackle calculus. I don't care. I don't care. Circumstances change, and you can draft Christian Darrisaw, who's going to be a rock-solid Pro Bowl level left tackle for a number of years at number 14 overall. Do it. Do it. But your thoughts on our thoughts on their mock, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, pull some in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.